Hi everyone, welcome back to Mr. Gard's maths class. Today we're going to be talking about order of operations. Now I know we've done a lot of this stuff before, but now we're going to incorporate our knowledge of negative numbers within it. So really, we're not learning anything new today. We are just combining our bits of knowledge from all of our units and combining them. So let's just go through a couple of things that are really important. First, we must always use our BIDMAS rules. Now, just to give us a little reminder on what they all are, the B stands for brackets, and you should probably write this down, especially if it'll help you remember. The I, as we now know, is for indices. Now, sometimes we see this as BODMAS or BEDMAS. It doesn't really matter which way round you want to call it, but for our sake, we're going to call it BIDMAS because the I will represent the indices. In other words, the powers, the little number above another number. The D is for division. M is multiplication. Now, I think I'm just telling you what you already know. Addition and subtraction. Okay, we know all of that stuff. So let's go through a couple of examples. The first one here, number 1, is one long example. It is -2 multiplied by 3 minus all of the stuff inside the brackets. Now you will also note that there are brackets within the brackets. We know that you need to do the brackets inside the brackets first of all. Now in this example, there isn't actually anything to do in there. The brackets are there simply to indicate that we have 10 plus a -2. Now, if we remember from a little earlier, when we add a negative number, that's the same as just subtracting that number. So 10 minus 2. So the way we work these out is I would like you to rewrite the question and just do little parts at a time. So because the first bit that we're going to do is the stuff inside the brackets, let's do that. So 10 plus a -2 is an 8. So we can keep that in brackets if you like, but it doesn't really matter. Divided by 4. Now, what do we do next? There are technically no more brackets because there's nothing we can do with that 8. There are no indices. So let's do our division problem next. So let's rewrite it. -2 multiplied by 3. Now we go so that's technically -8 divided by 4. Now from our last lesson, we spoke primarily about them being multiplying positives and negatives, but the same principle applies to dividing. So we now have -8 divided by 4, and negative divided by a positive gives us a negative. So -8 divided by 4 is -2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2, and we leave the negative value there. Now, we look at what is the next part we do. There are no more division parts. We do multiplication next. -2, don't forget the negative. -2 multiplied by 3, or multiplied by +3. Remember, we don't need to write the positive symbol. So a negative times a positive is a negative. So we'll put our negative in. 2 times 3, 6. And we still have our subtract 2. -6 minus 2. If we have -6 and we take off another 2, that leaves us with -8. Hopefully you can see how we got that. Go back through it if you missed some of the steps there. Let's look at the next question. If we have 5 divided by brackets, -10 plus 5, close the brackets, plus 5. Again, first thing that we do is the brackets. So let's rewrite the whole question. Inside the brackets, -10 plus 5. If we have negative, we can draw it on a number line if we like. If that's 0, that's -10. If we're at -10 and we add 5, we're moving this way. So we're plussing 5. We end up at -5. So it's 5 divided by -5. Sometimes we put it in brackets. Right, next step. Next step, we go division. Yes, there's a division part. So it's 5 divided by -5. 5 divided by -5. Positive divided by a negative means we have a negative. 5 divided by 5 will go once. So 5 divided by -5 is -1. That's how many times it will fit in there. Plus 5 from over here. -1 plus 5. Same deal on the number line. If we start at -1 and we add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We end up at +4 on the number line. Ultimately, we haven't learnt anything new. We knew our BIDMAS rules and we know our negative number rules. Provided you can use all of them, you're not going to have any problem. Just take your time, rewrite the question in steps. Do not try and jump a number of steps. That's where you will make the mistake. Look at how many steps I did for those questions. Take your time. That way you'll get them all right. All right, see you at the next lesson.